Hey everybody, Jaycie here. I have a special episode of Cartwheels and Banana Peels today. And though you have not met Alison on Cartwheels and Banana Peels yet, I have been on her podcast, which is wait a minute. What is it, Alison?
It's the Next Step podcast.
Okay. I wanted to say that and then I thought, oh, dang it, am I wrong? Oh my gosh, we had such a blast. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll have to put the link to that in there too, because Alison is a great host and has amazing guests, and I am honored that I got to be one of her guests. But today, because my beloved dear friend Alison has changed her direction in her business over the last year, just some different things. Not only do all of our elevator pitches, which is what we're talking about today, evolve, but she's like, yeah, trying to get it down where it's really going to grab attention and be clear. So we've kind of put Alison in the hot seat today, since this is one of the things I do is help people with their elevator pitches. So that's what we're doing. Alison.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you give us kind of the best general idea of what it is that you do? And then we're going to kind of dive in and see what we can come up with today.
Absolutely. I love this. So I just want to say that I always know when we show up on our weekly networking events and we chat, your elevator pitch is always like not only super engaging, but so on point. Everybody knows what Jaycie does. Nobody questions it. And I'm a little jealous. I'm just going to be honest. Because I am a business manager, right? And so I'm sort of a jack of all trades, master of none. I'm like the orchestrator of a symphony. I can't play every instrument, but I can help all the instruments come together and make beautiful music, right? And so when I explain to people what it is that I do, or what's the hair on fire problem I solve, I'm like, well, I solve whatever freaking problem you have. Like, that's the problem. I put your hair out. It's not on fire anymore. That's it. Whatever set it on fire, I fix that. And so people are like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know what do you do?
Yeah.
And so I try to help people. The direction I've gone with as I continue to elevate my services along with the people I'm working with, I started to say that I'm a business manager and strategy implementer, because I want people to know that I get in the dirt, right? I sow the seeds, I dig up the ground, I plant, water, all the things with you. I'm not a coach who gives advice. And so I'm in the business with you, but I'm also not a virtual assistant, right? I'm a manager of the things. I'm not the virtual assistant. And so there are tasks that I do, but there are tasks that I don't do, right? I will help create your social media content strategy. I will help create the templates. I will help create the pillars. I don't schedule the content, right? So, and people are like, okay, so there's that gap there, right? People confuse me with a coach because I say strategy. They confuse me with a VA because I say implementer, and I'm like this unicorn that lives in between. So there's that aspect of it. So anyway, back to what I tell people I do. I tell them that I help them sustain the business they have by creating and optimizing their back of house systems and funnels. And then I help them launch new products and services so they can scale their business to the next level. And then this third aspect that has come in recently, as I've worked on my messaging and branding, is that I then help you really optimize your client or customer experience, because too many people, they want to, figure out how to stop having everything fall through the cracks, right? So they can sustain. They want more business, more money, right? Let's be honest, we're in here to make money, right? They want more money, so they want to scale. But then what happens to their current clients, their past clients, their customers? What's the client experience look like? They're continually missing out on repeat business and referrals because the client journey falls off after they deliver their product or service. And so I have found that because my business at this point in time is 100% referrals. Every single person I have worked with at the level I'm at now, I should say, has found me or come to me because someone who's worked with me has said, you have to work with Alison. That's because the client experience has been so stellar. And I'm like, why am I not helping my clients have that experience with their clients? And so there's sort of those three buckets, phases, levels, whatever. I don't know what to call it.
So sustaining the business, right? Scaling it and optimizing the client experience.
Exactly.
Okay. because that's what I wrote down. So,
Yeah. And
but
but
I
it's
have
like
to
when I
say,
say those things, they're so vague and broad,
yes,
people
I know.
don't get it.
So it depends on, okay, first of all, I got to say this because my ADHD brain, but oh, what movie is that from? Hang on. I think Adam Sandler is in it. No, I don't know. Anyways, but it's like the guy's hair catches on fire at the basketball game. And he's like, and his hair is a flame. We're like, oh my God, where's Allison? Someone put his hair out.
I'm gonna have to find that and literally put that on social media and be like, is this you? Are you this
You know
business
what
owner?
movie that's from?
I don't.
God, I'm going to have to look it up. I'm sure it's an at.
It'll come.
Anyways, guys,
It'll come.
anybody watching this, and if we haven't figured it out, please tell us, because for the life of me, I think my ex-husband would know. I really don't want to text him and ask him, but he would tell me because I know he would know, because it's just from that time frame of my life when I remember seeing it a lot. Okay, so one of the things that I think is really important is that the level of client that you work with, because you do not see, guys, when I'm doing one of these sessions with somebody, I don't necessarily already know a lot about them. I happen to know a lot about Alison, right? Okay, but I know that you don't work with beginner entrepreneurs.
Correct.
So they already, the level that you're working with already has an understanding of business and what their function, their operation of their business looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're a newbie out there, Allison, I hate to tell you guys, but Allison's not for you, because you're like, what do you mean your back end office stuff or your back end,
Right.
whatever, you know, you might not even know what those are. Yeah, you might, but you might not. And that's okay, because it's just Allison's not where you start. So Allison, you really are taking already successful entrepreneurs that they got to maintain, but they want to, maintain and sustain, but they want to increase it, make it even better, scale it. But when they scale it, not lose the experience for the client, and or increase that experience, improve that experience that the client is already getting now, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So do you have, when you're talking about your perfect, amazing, most favorite dream client ever,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we're talking about someone that has this already success level of what would you say that level is as far as that goes?
Where they're starting, you mean?
Where are they? Where is the client that you usually work with? Whether
where are
it
they
is
at,
a
like when they come
financial
to me? Okay.
or, yes.
See, that's the thing. I've
Yeah.
thought about, like, do I put a revenue on that? But then I'm like, no, because quite frankly, my ideal client that I'm working with hasn't even made 100,000 yet,
Okay.
right? So I
Okay.
do say, generally I help clients who have made 100,000 reach 500,000, right? Like,
Okay.
I use that because it does help eliminate people that are sort of at the beginning stage that are truly ambitious, and I have no doubt are going to make it, but they're not there
Okay.
yet, right? But if I had to talk about my ideal client, nah, she's not there yet. However, she's well on her way, and she
Yeah.
has the structure in place. She has the foundation. So what I like to say is that my ideal client has consistent revenue every month.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily matter how much that revenue is. It's just that they have figured out what works for them, for their ideal clients themselves, and they're not struggling to get business. So they
Right.
have revenue.
Because if they're struggling to get business, they can't afford you anyway.
No, and honestly, they need a coach, and I'm not a coach.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. So those of you listening, take that to heart. You're already struggling. You're looking for a coach, right? You're not looking for, to be honest, if you're struggling to get clients, I can't even say that you're really looking for me either. But anyways, that's another story, because it's about storytelling. It is about connecting with people. So when Allison, what you're doing, you're creating such an amazing experience, though, that they will gain more clients. They will grow their business, or they will sell more products, depending on, maybe they're doing a little bit more of a passive direction as they scale it, or more into their group program or whatever, right?
Right.
But what I want to hear from you also is when we're talking about your ideal client, we talked about revenue, we talked about consistent client or consistent business, right?
Mhm.
But and you did say she, so are you more, when you're talking about your ideal client, doesn't mean, right? And you and I know this, it does not mean that's the only person you work with. But when
Right.
we're marketing, when we're talking about it, is it a female entrepreneur that you're focused on?
No, I have, out of the
Okay.
5 clients I currently have, 2 are single females, right? 2 are actual couples, and then I have a gentleman.
Okay.
So,
Right. So doesn't really matter.
no.
So your messaging is going to be, which is your personality, is going to be more direct, and you are going to attract more direct, how do I say this, leveling to our sisters, but more strong, powerful women, because
Mhm.
that's just, I'm being attacked by a fly, you guys. I'm so sorry. That stop. I'm gonna get the fly swatter and go crazy in the middle of our call. But that is going to be who you attract, which is going to work because you're speaking to the guys and the ladies.
Right.
So it
Right.
fits, because when we have that big, we're not, oh, there, let me hold your hand. It's not like that.
My tagline is literally not bossy, just aggressively helpful. And I
Yeah.
say that because I'm like, it wards people off that are like, woo, she seems like a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not for you then.
Yeah. I always say no fluffy bunnies and rainbows here. Okay.
Exactly.
But we have a damn good time. We're laughing and giggling, but
Right.
yeah, no
Right.
fluffy bunnies and rainbows. Thanks anyways. Okay. So I want to better understand if you have a particular type of client. I mean, I'm not talking financial, I'm not talking solo or partners, things like that. But are they online coaches? Are they someone that is doing a different type of product? I mean, if they are online coaches, is there a specific
Right.
direction that you would love to work with more than someplace else?
Right. And this is, again, the struggle, because everyone's like, what's your industry that you work with? What's the niche? And I'm like, I literally have, I've run the gamut. I have straight up e-commerce. I have a coach. I have a couple doing a membership. I have a service provider. I have someone doing online courses, right? Like, I have run the gamut. And so I have no specific industry or niche because I've done coaches, I've done all the things. But what the common thread is that none of these people are a hot mess, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there are people who have consistent revenue who are also an absolute hot mess.
Yes.
I don't like to work with people that are an absolute hot mess because they're so all over the place that I almost feel like they need a coworker, like a partner in their business, like physically next to them that can restrain them. So none of them are a hot mess, but all of them feel like they're missing opportunities, right? So
Okay.
like they understand my business is not getting to where it could be getting because I'm
Mm-hmm.
dropping the ball consistently in all these
Okay.
different places. I'm dropping a different ball all the time, but I'm constantly dropping a ball at some point. So they're not a hot mess, but they're constantly dropping balls. They see the opportunity, they're ambitious, they want to take advantage of it, but they also don't know how to prioritize, right? Because they have tons of
Mm-hmm.
ideas. They've got too many ideas. And it's like, okay, Alison, I need help filtering the ideas. I need help knowing which opportunities do I jump on and which opportunities do I walk away from, because
Okay.
yeah.
So, because I love you dearly, because your brain thinks like a lot like mine. So it's like, I'm like, so if someone's not a hot mess, Alison, how do you describe him or her when they're not a hot mess? How would you describe them?
I would consider them, they're okay. So this is what's on my website. I'm looking at my website. They are ambitious business owners that want to get more done faster.
Okay, Jenny. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, but I know, but
Tell Jenny to
for
listen.
my
But it's
defense, I had
true.
that
It's totally
before I
true.
met Jenny. But
I'm just kidding you anyway.
it's one of those things where it's like, that is so generic.
But I want to stop you again because I want to go deeper into the ambitious. Just because we're ambitious doesn't mean we're not a hot mess.
True. Okay.
So dig deeper on what are they? What do they have?
They're driven. They're
driven. I can still be a hot mess if I'm driven.
I hate to use the term focused. Focused would make sense. They are focused, right? Which is not a hot mess, but they still don't know what to focus on. Does that make sense?
They're
like
focused on the end picture more.
Yes. they can see where they
but they
want.
don't know how. They know the destination. They don't have the map to get there.
Yes, 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 yes. That's it. They
Oh,
know.
and they don't know how, when they have a flat tire, how to deal with it or put out the little fires along the way, right? Oh my
Kind of.
God, I'm seeing like the game of life in my head.
but I think you just nailed it. Like,
Okay.
they have the end result that they're like, this is it. This is where I'm headed. I want this vision. And then they go, okay, there's like 50 different ways I could get there. And I have no idea which way to go. And I start on this path, and then I'm half a mile down and I see a dirt road and I jump on that path and it takes me to, and they're like constantly veering off, taking exits, seeing shiny objects.
I was going to say it's shiny object syndrome or dirt path syndrome sometimes,
or
as
dirt
you
path
said.
syndrome. We're
It
sticking with
happens.
that. But yeah, and so it's like, and so one of the things why they're dropping balls is like, because they're constantly jumping to new ideas, ultimately still knowing what the goal is. But how do I get there? How do I get there? And then they start something, they change gears, and then everything that they've done here, it starts falling through the cracks. And then they look back and they're like, well, why isn't that working? You know what I mean? And they get frustrated.
Yes. Yeah. So they have the destination in mind. They have the overall view. They can see the end result, but they need, so I'm just helping you hopefully fire some neurons here. They need and honestly, Alison, I don't like the word map, even though I said it, because it's too, right? It's like Miss Cleo years ago that made psychic people sound bad. So it's overused, right? It's like pop psychology almost in a whole different way. It's like, so, but they need the structured, laser focused direction. They need to know what the layout is. All those words have been used, but they do need it. They need the map, the blueprint, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Success path. Well, and the other thing, the other reason that, and I can tell you, so, my tagline, not boss teaches aggressively helpful, that came from a client who legit said, we hired you to be our boss. And so there's this dichotomy where you're like in business for yourself, but because you're such a visionary, you literally need someone to be like, no, the deadline is Friday. Get your ass in gear. I want that copy finished. I want that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do this. Like,
Alison, that's it. That's, I swear that's part of what you need to be saying. You're the entrepreneur's boss.
Ooh.
With love and kindness and the fire under your butt.
I don't think love and kindness need to be in there. I'm the entrepreneur.
No, I didn't say you had to say that, but I'm just saying. However, because because you're fun, you have this beautiful fun energy. Even if you're like, damn it, you got to get this done by Friday. You're going to drop the ball again, and Susie over here is going to miss out. But yet, you still have an energy about you that is not like, oh my God, Alison's such a bitch. It's not like that.
Right.
So that needs to come across. Mind you, when you say it, it's probably going to come across, because again, when we say our elevator pitches, it's not just about the words that we read on paper, because we can read that anyhow we want to. It is which words you accentuate, which, how you change your tone of voice, and here, there, everywhere, whatever, right? Which words you highlight. Because that would be one. Oh my gosh, I'm serious. That one's got my attention. You're like the entrepreneur's boss. What the hell's that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Something to play with.
Okay, let's write that one down. Write that one down.
I was like, because then you're aggressively, you're you're the entrepreneur's boss, but you're not bossy. You're aggressively helpful.
Yes.
It goes with it.
So I'm loving this. Do we need some sort of adjective before entrepreneur? Like, I am the established entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I'm not saying we don't need that, but yeah, let's get this down though, and then we can play with that. I agree.
Okay. Okay.
I love these sessions because it's amazing.
We're not dead. We're still here. We're just writing.
Yes. I mean, this will be on YouTube, but anybody listening to it on the podcast channels, audio, like, what happened? They got quiet. Alison and Jaycie got quiet. Oh my God, hell's frozen over.
It must be something wrong with the recording, because they're never quiet. Love
Oh,
it.
side note, I dated somebody, well, dated sort of kind of short term, and then met him, and then he couldn't handle this kind of personality, and that was it. Anyways, side note, do you have your stuff written?
I have it written. I'm ready.
So be who you are. That's where I was headed with that. Because when I like to, because if you try this and see how this works, what if it captures attention? The entrepreneur's boss, yes, I don't disagree, a better definition of entrepreneur, but that's going to get people to kind of lean in, heads up, ears perk up. You're going to be like, the what?
Yeah.
Then also if you go ahead and add into that you're not bossy, you're aggressively helpful, that's going to give like, oh, that's kind of funny. That gives you some energy of your energy, and the fact that you're still going to be pretty, you're like, kind of like, hey, no fluffy bunnies. But so that kind of gives part of your personality, which I'm adamant about.
Yeah.
That you need to be able to do. And mind you, that little thing right there, if you say and you could easily say established entrepreneur or successful entrepreneur, I don't know, something. And we can play with that in a minute. But if you even just say that, there's your 10-second pitch, which I'm so adamant that we always have one of those.
So if my thing is, I am the blank entrepreneur's boss, but I'm not bossy, I'm just aggressively helpful. And then there it is. And then I'm
so curious. I'm like, you do what?
Right.
And Alison, I know you've heard me say it a lot. Your elevator pitch is just a conversation starter. That is it.
Yeah.
So that's your 10-second. I don't even know. We could time you. It's probably less than that. You did it so quick there. I bet in 7 or 8 seconds, you probably had it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
So I was honestly a little like when I stepped into this call today, because I'm like, man, Alison's it's going to be tricky. All we gotta do is have a conversation. This is how I do it.
Comes out. Okay, so we have that. All right, so that's the first 7 seconds. What's the next 23?
So depending on your environment, right? If you are in one of those settings like we do, and we meet Wednesdays and we jump into a breakout call, or breakout room and that kind of thing, we need to have those few seconds. And then you can just let it hang. Depends on the situation. If you are in the grocery store, this is one that I say often, and somebody says, oh, you work for yourself, what do you do? That's all you need to tell them, because 99% of the time, maybe not that often, but whatever, a huge percentage of the time, the rando person in the grocery store line or at the meat counter is not going to be your client, right? So why bother to tell them the rest of the crap? Because it's going to make their eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
But it does still open the door if they go, oh, I'm an entrepreneur's boss. I thought they worked for themselves. And so it's still, if you just say that and then stop, which is the hardest thing, especially for those of us that are talkers, but it's the hardest thing for people to do most of the time, is now let the dead air hang.
Yes. Writing this down. I love that. Okay.
And Alison, as you know, when I do mine, I typically say, hey, I am the host and founder and host of Cartwheels and Banana Peels. I could stop there because I have learned that Cartwheels and Banana Peels, everyone from my fellow entrepreneurs that I network with to people online to the dude that works on my Jeep goes, huh? What is that? And they chuckle.
You opened a door.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. And then I will say, hey, I'm a rebel storyteller. So I'm a rebel. And those of us in the coaching world or online business or whatever, we know story is really important. And you're like, oh, you tell people how to tell stories. Wait. So anyway, so it's just that it doesn't always, and that's the reason I want to point that out, is because there is no perfect template for people's elevator pitches. And I want people to get that there's no perfect, hey, I'm this and I help blah, blah, do that. That's not always the case. So that's why I think it's so freaking personalized.
What I'm hearing from you and as you're telling, like, of course, my brain is literally churning right now, but it's like every sentence I say, I want people to go, I want them to, their ears to perk up, and I want them to kind of lean in. And then I want them to, next sentence. Because when you say I'm a rebel storyteller as your second sentence, I'm like, huh? How are you a rebel story? Right? Like it makes me again. And then I want to hear the third sentence. And so like, what's my second sentence that makes people be like, huh? like you just said, I'm the entrepreneur's boss. Wait, what? I thought I worked for myself. Like that's what they would say, right? When we're talking about, I work for myself. I need my next sentence to be something else that makes them go, huh? Because then if I get real bored and I'm like, you sustain, scale, and optimize. Ugh.
I gotta go, Allison. I think I left my oven on.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when they're looking for, and this is something that everybody, you, me, always, we have to read the room, whether it's one person or 100, or 1,000. I don't care. You have to read the room. That takes practice and skill. Takes practice, time and again. But you have to pay attention to them. What are they? Are you losing them? Do you have to kind of shift gears? Do you need to shut up because you have said too much, or you've said words that are so overused, such as the what I said, the map that we were talking about earlier, that we lose them. So that you have to do some trial and error. Depends on who you're talking to. Again, if it's the dude in the grocery store, the guy working on your car, you know, your RV broke down and y'all need to go get it fixed. But this guy maybe he is an entrepreneur. Maybe he does need somebody. Who knows? So you have to pay attention to that and learn how to pivot gracefully and be able to go, okay, this isn't the right angle with them. Okay. So it does depend, because if you are at a business seminar, right? Maybe you've gone to some big event, or you're on a business retreat with your peers in that sense. What you say next, one, is going to depend on your environment, and two, it's going to depend on who asked you or what did they ask you.
Okay.
So, Allison, if you said to me, you're the entrepreneur's boss, which first of all, I'm going to be like, really?
Right.
What is it you're going to tell me to do? I'm so curious. What is it you do?
Well, okay. And so you're saying this, right? And here's what I'm like, my brain is churning, because immediately, if I'm your boss, you think I'm going to give you work, right? A boss assigns work, but that's not, as a business manager, what I do. I, in fact, take things off your plate so that you can do more of what you love, right?
Ooh,
and so
okay.
that needs
so
to be
you are the entrepreneur's boss. Oh. Try this. See how it feels when we both say it. I'm the entrepreneur's boss, and I like the entrepreneur's boss. It's like, you're the one, right? I'm the entrepreneur's boss, but I'm not. How's it you say? I'm not bossy. I'm aggressively helpful because I take things off your plate.
Yeah.
Something to that. Yeah. Doesn't have to be that exact, but it's that. It's because you take things off your plate. So what? So what is the result?
Right. So that they can actually focus on the part of their business that they were passionate about. I hate the word passion, totally overused, but the idea being, I take things
so that your business is fun again.
Ooh, so that your business is fun again. So that your business. So that
you don't want to jump off a cliff. Oh, yeah.
So that it's more enjoyable. So you remember why you started it. Like, so so you can get back to the part you love.
Because that is something that I have heard. And I myself have been there, right? Because I've built and run more than one company in my lifetime. I'm on number 5. So I hear that, especially for creative individuals. We get bored easily, and we get bogged down with all the stuff that we don't want to do. And we would love to have Allison as our person that is handling all this crap for us that we don't want to deal with. She's putting out the fires, right? And keeping it organized, especially for those of us that are ADHD. So knowing that I can really love it again, and I can this sounds so coachy sounding, but I can lean into it again. I can feel it. You described that right there, that little piece, and that's where that comes in that conversation. They're like, you do what?
Yeah.
That's when you can carry it. So in the moment that you want to do that 8 or 10 second pitch, you have it now, but now you also know how you can do a 15, 20, 30 second one, right? I don't know if we're at 30 seconds yet, but you're definitely up closer to a good 15, 20 second
I feel
mark,
like I'm
probably.
getting sentence 2 a little bit more worked out. I am the entrepreneur's boss, but I'm not bossy, just aggressively helpful, because I take things off your plate so your business can be fun again and you can remember why you started it in the first place.
I love it. That's honestly, that's like a perfect one. I mean, I don't know what's that at. Maybe 15, maybe 20 seconds. I don't know. But Yeah, but that one, that's a great one for networking as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. So then the only thing I do feel like is people are still going to be like, but what do you do?
And
So
that's okay, because now you've started the conversation.
okay. Gotcha. So that the idea being that this, I'm not supposed to necessarily tell them what I do so much as I want to be rememberable, right? And I want them to, because so that isn't that the trick with networking?
Yeah.
How many
They're not going to forget you. She's like,
managers
she
are
bosses
there?
entrepreneurs, man. I don't even
Right.
know, but she's the entrepreneur's boss, but she's helpful. Like, she makes you love your job, your career again, your company
Yeah.
again. I mean,
Yeah. So instead of being like, oh, she's another online business manager. No, no, no. She's the entrepreneur's boss.
you have which I'm not one to hang on titles, but you have one that is, and I joked about Jenny earlier. So Jenny, if you watch this, and anybody else is like, who? Jenny Mustafa Julak. We love Jenny. She's a blast. But she works with impatiently ambitious entrepreneurs who want to, or excuse me, impatiently ambitious people who want to get further faster. Bam. We all know our freaking pitch.
I know. I feel like I stole it. Now that you've said that, I have to change my website right now.
It is very similar, but
Very
yeah,
similar.
I get it. But entrepreneur's boss is going to stick out like either Carl's and Banana Peels or that she's a rebel storyteller.
Right.
They're going to remember.
I love it. I love it.
And then the rest of it will just go with practice. And again, you paying attention to the things that you say that make people lean in. I swear, try. I'm so curious to see what happens when you do try the part we were talking about there at that second sentence of it, though. That is that it's going to make them fall, however you said it, but they're going to fall in love with their business again, or they're going to know why they started it in the first place. They're going to be that. They're going to be able to regain that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm like writing things down. I can't wait to get on my website and change my copy. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. Yay. Yeah, absolutely.
There was something on the tip of my tongue, and I'm like, it was like, you know what I mean? Like it's in your brain and it's like floating around, and it's not landing. It'll get there.
Yes.
But all right. So I don't even know how long we've been talking, but here's
I don't know, because it was a good half hour, but it was really, we knocked a lot of this out of the park, and we've got you one hell of a different start to work on this now.
Okay, wait. Together. Oh, wait. We together. I'm looking at my website. Transforming. Hang on. I wrote this. Ideas into results. Okay. Here it is. Here's the pitch. Tell me what you think. I am the entrepreneur's boss, but I'm not bossy, just aggressively helpful, because I take things off your plate so your business is fun again and you remember why you started it in the first place. Together, we're going to transform your ideas into results.
I freaking love it. I freaking love it. I love it. You hit the points on, take them off your plate. I'm not bossy, but you hit those you accentuated the right words. So you just flowed with it. It did not, oh my God, it did not feel like you just read that. You guys, please take that to heart. Go back and listen to what she just did. She has it written down. It's not like she has it memorized yet, but when she read it, she also did it in a way that didn't feel like she was reading it.
Right.
So that's another thing. It's about how you deliver your pitch or any story or any speaking that you do. It's how you deliver it. And I guarantee that even if you're not watching this on YouTube and you are just listening, whatever, but that you're listening on any podcast, glitch in the system, y'all, podcast platform, that you still could hear the shift and the energy, the shift in the words and the energy from that. So that is a huge part of what I do as well. Alison didn't need that help from me, thank goodness, because she just has that. But I know not everybody does. So really take that. It takes practice, you guys. It takes practice.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, immediately, we're getting off this call. I'm updating my website copy, the title. I'm going to LinkedIn. I'm changing my title on LinkedIn to The Entrepreneur's Boss. I love it.
Dude,
Jaycie,
that's
magic.
A t-shirt. Oh my God, thank you. That's a t-shirt. I am not freaking kidding. You could wear that t-shirt around, and when you go to the kids' games or whatever it is you're doing, I'm serious. They're going to ask you. I could do the same thing with either Cartwheels and Banana Peels or the Storytelling Rebel, but I swear yours, I like yours even better now. I'm jealous. But they're going to be like, what the hell's an entrepreneur's boss? I'm serious. You can just have it on there. You don't have to have anything but the entrepreneur's boss. And they're going to be like, people will ask.
Yeah, they will.
I swear to God, people will ask.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thanks, Jaycie. I'm so excited.
Oh my God. If you guys are only listening, you need to go watch this on YouTube because we're both so animated that she's over there dancing. Oh my God. She's shimmying. Woo! It's hilarious. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. So we're gonna wrap this one up today, but this is how it works. I say how easy it is. Because I don't know, you get my brain and the ADHD kicks in and who knows what's going to come out. So I just have to hear what you do. So I love it. I have fun. Alison, I'm so happy that you were like, I'll sit in the hot seat.
Oh, heck yeah. You're a safe space, Jaycie. It's all good.
Thank you. Thank you. Now look, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to be your boss. Get over there. What you already said you were going to do it, but get over there. And tomorrow I will not be on, you guys, whenever this comes out and you're listening, whatever, but between Alison and I, tomorrow I will not be, but for a short period of time at We Meet Wednesdays because of some other stuff I'm involved in. But
so I'm going to try out my new pitch.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to tell me, you got to send me a message and tell me how it goes and see what kind of feedback you got, because I'm like, oh my God.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right. So you guys catch you next time on Cartwheels and Banana Peels.
Bye.